shit the focus.
Baby.
Do I go higher or lower?
What are you doing?
Alright, there we go. Thanks. Sorry. Alright, now it's in focus.
How do you know?
I know what I'm talking about.
He's Daredevil.
I'm Daredevil. Hey guys, Brian Wright here. Hope you enjoyed my hilarious opening bit there. So yeah, I just literally finished watching the first episode of Daredevil. Have to talk about this show. I fucking loved it. I've been binge watching all the Marvel movies, specifically starting from Iron Man, so that way I could, really prepare for Avengers Age of Ultron. So I'm getting really used to like what the Marvel stuff feels like. Watching this did not feel like anything I've seen from Marvel before. It was really dark, it was really gritty, it's violent. Like in the first 10 minutes, you see Daredevil fucking annihilating a bad guy, just like punching the shit out of him. And the fighting style too, you could tell it's a real human being who's doing all this work. In the Marvel films, I'm not gonna compare it too much, but in the Marvel films, you feel like, oh, they're usually okay if they're up against one person. But you put Daredevil up against one guy and you're very much aware that he's a blind dude. It's intense. It makes it much more tension-filled the entire time. I liked it from the intro. You see Daredevil when he's a little guy, Matt Murdock, I think is his name. Then he becomes blind. That was actually really effective because you start thinking about like, oh man, that must really suck to be in that father's position to have a blind kid. But then again, you could fuck with the kid a little bit. You could just like make faces at him all the time. No, I'm kidding. It's all jokes around here. And then he's in the confessional. I love that line. It's so action hero-like when he says, that cool line that I'm totally gonna quote right now that I can so remember. I'm not asking for forgiveness for what I've done. I'm asking for forgiveness for what I'm about to do. Right from that moment, I was like, oh shit. Shit's about to go down. And when he fucks up those people inside of the cargo spots, heroes always save the day in cargo areas. I noticed that. Batman Begins and, shouldn't have said that sentence because that's the only other one I could think of now. The fight sequences I thought were awesome. I've seen a lot of television shows where the characters are like, they know martial arts, they know how to fight, whatever, but they're never full on like cinematic fight sequences. This kind of reminded me of like, it was like stylish, but it was also like MMA style. A lot of people are saying this, kind of like The Raid. That level of brutality mixed with sort of a level of beauty. I really do dig that kind of violence in the show. I thought that moment was very powerful when he was beating up that one dude at the end where he's just like keeps punching him in the face because none of the other Marvel heroes, they're not gonna do that. But Daredevil, you see just how violent this show is gonna be and just how much darker this person's soul is compared to like the other heroes we're used to. I like the guy who plays his partner, Foggy. He's Foggy. I think of a homophobic word when I hear that. But I can't say it because it's a fucked up word. But you're all thinking it, so you're all fucked up for thinking it. Foggy. Foggy I thought was fun. You do need that comic relief type of character. I like how him and Matt are partners, yet Matt is aware that he kind of does dirty things on the side. Like he snorts cocaine and goes to strip clubs and stuff. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's more jokes here at The Real Rejects. What he does is like he bribes cops to get information and stuff. I like the setup of them being lawyers starting up their firm on that very day and how they approach their first client. The girl who plays Paige, she was Jessica on True Blood. You see her side boob in the show, in the first episode, but in True Blood, you see full boob. So, watch True Blood if the side boob wasn't good enough for you. Is that okay that I said that?
Yeah. Okay,
cool. All right, thanks, baby. She was great. That introduction when, she has her bleeding hands and, my idiotic mind was like, oh, she's on her period. But then, you see that there's a dead body there and you're like, oh, it's not a period, it's a dead body. And it looks like she's stabbed, but she's freaking out and you do believe that she didn't kill this guy. She's a great actress. She really does sell, like, damaged person very well. Hopefully she's okay in real life, but I don't care, it makes for great entertainment on screen. But I like the connection that forms. I thought the lawyer stuff was great. They have like a lawyer show inside of this, superhero vigilante show is cool because the lawyer stuff, all the cases that they're dealing with was all really interesting actually. Like it wasn't boring stuff to listen to. It wasn't like, oh, can we just get around to when he's being Daredevil again? You're actually paying attention and you're getting good character development out of these sequences with all this lawyer case stuff that's going on. And it links to do Daredevil being Daredevil well. It's not just like Daredevil's like, okay, I'm looking for another case. And then it's like he comes in when he's really necessary to come in. But if he can do it just as Matt Murdock, he'll do it just as Matt. Fucking Matt, you're beautiful, dude. He's cool. He's really cool. Like the way he talks, he's putting on like a character when he's talking, but he's also like sincere at the same time. He's very charming. I would consider a threesome with him, baby. Just so you know. He would have to wear the glasses though. And he needs to bring that walking stick with him too. There was a really scary moment. I mean, I knew she wasn't gonna die because she was a series regular on the show. But when she's being hung by the prison's guard, I like how they set up the prison guard because you see that he's a guy who has his daughter's life is on the line because of a mistake that he made. He doesn't know exactly who he has to kill. So you're not like looking at this guy who you normally would just be like in a show like, oh, that's just another bad guy working for the bad dudes. He's not in the show a lot, but they made his character important enough to establish like, no, this is a very character-driven show. I like how Daredevil can tell that, you know, when someone's lying by their heartbeat. I do it to my girlfriend. If she gets turned on while we're watching a movie, it's in her stomach. This is a serious thing. I'll be laying on her. And my head will be resting on her stomach. And if there's someone hot on screen, her stomach starts breathing harder. And if I say, is he hot? She'll go, no. I know she's lying because her heartbeat's going. And so yeah, Daredevil and I have that in common. When it comes down to the finale, I love that last fight because you don't know this assassin really, you just heard a couple of sentences about the guy. You see him fight with Daredevil and that's what I'm talking about, that moment. You really get that Daredevil is a human being. You don't feel like he's a superhero actually. You feel like this is a real fighter. I like seeing how this is the origins of Daredevil, not just in the terms of Daredevil, but in terms of also being a lawyer. By the way, if you're gonna be a vigilante, you don't do that at the same time you're starting up a law firm. That's just too much stress on your plate. I like how they haven't showed us Wade Wilson yet, Kingpin. I like how they haven't showed us the villain yet. They're really setting him up well. It's so brilliant that it's on Netflix because you could totally binge watch this shit. And I'm excited to continue watching this show. I'm excited for the upcoming appearances. I like their subtle hints at the Marvel world. Like when the bad businessmen are talking, they're saying how like every time one of these superheroes fucks up, that their business goes up. Like, I like those little hints, but they're not trying to like tie it in and be like, hey, look, Marvel. But they're doing it very subtly. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for telling me the release date of Daredevil. So excited to be watching it. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Rejects. And you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter because I'm a YouTuber and YouTubers need followers on more than just YouTube, apparently, because then you look like you're not cool and you're not successful if I don't have a lot of Twitter followers.